outside of the third, we're going to say he's losing his stuff.
Well, it's almost a story about the guy who pitches a no-hitter. One guy hits foul. They said, never mind the pitcher. Get the guy who hit the ball foul. The guy that pulls it is going to make the story.
2-2. Breaking ball got him. So with all the smoke, he strikes out number 5 with a curve.
And he does such a tremendous job, Vin, of keeping that leadoff man off base. You're always with one out, it seems like. There's the curveball. And if you don't think that's a tough job after he's been firing 96-mile-an-hour fastballs, that you have to hang in there and try to hit that curveball.
Well, here's Bobby Ojeda facing a man who averages almost 9 strikeouts a game this year. And he starts him with the fastball.
He had a pretty good cut at that ball.
He sure did. On 1 and another. Ojeda only walked once all year, and he strikes out more than any other Mets pitcher during the regular year, so he's in trouble. 1-2. Bad pitch, strikeout number 6, and 3 in a row for Clemens. Again, a hitter chasing that explosive fastball that goes high and away out of the strike zone. With 2 out, Lenny Dykstra, who led off the game and struck out. And he starts him with the fastball.
And a strike.
So Knight, Wilson, Santana, Ojeda have all bitten the dust after Dykstra and Backman open up the game on strikeouts. 0-1. Foul the other way. And it's 0-2 again. The man who struck out 20 and didn't walk a batter has struck out a half a dozen, and we're in the third. Change that time, took a lot off the fastball. 1-2. Wally Backman on deck.
With the 2 strikeouts, here's where he wants to make it happen right here. He doesn't want Dykstra on.
And as a one-hopper to shortstop, little English on it, but Owen throws him out, and the Mets are gone in order. And at the end of 3, Clemens has struck out 6, not allowed a hit. 2-0 Boston. Tonight's game is brought to you by New York Life, to help you get the most out of life, and by AT&T, the right choice. Two to nothing Boston, top of the 4th inning, with Henderson, Owen, and Clemens due out. Henderson flied to left in the 2nd inning. Ball 1.
Let's go, David!
1-0. Evens it up. And a good change following another good change, and the count 1-2.
That's that dead fish that Dave Johnson talks about, and talked about it in the pregame.
Let's go, David!
Infield swung over a little bit towards third. The outfield straightaway. Backman very deep and on the rim. 1-2. Pulled, foul outside of third. Still 1-2. Red Sox making what has turned out to be a good deal. Dave Henderson and Spike Owen for Mike Brown, Ray Quinones, and Mike Trujillo. And Henderson and Owen certainly making sizable contributions. 1-2 in the dirt. Paid attendance tonight 55,078. 55078. 2-2. And a busted bat. Fly ball to shallow center. Dykstra coming on to make the catch. You wouldn't think an off-speed pitch would shatter a bat. That thing broke in 4 pieces. Just disintegrated.
It looked like he hit it right off the end of the bat. And once again, he was completely off stride. Ojeda with that slow change of pace, and Dykstra, a tough play because you go by the big swing of the bat playing deep, and he had a home run swing, hit it on the end of the bat, and Bott dunked one in there.
So the batter is the shortstop, Spike Owen. Single to center in the second inning. 1 out, 4th inning, 2-0 Red Sox. And base hit into left field. Though we still haven't seen a Red Sox batter hit one on the ground for an out. And that's very much unlike Ojeda. And Hernandez to the mound. Owen is 2 for 2.
Boston pitcher Roger Clemens.
6 hits for Boston. Here's Clemens coming up. Tried to sacrifice, swung once, and then bunted foul. Knight looking bunt. He's halfway into the plate. You know, that's tough being a third baseman with an off-speed pitcher and right-hand hitters. I don't care if he is a pitcher. You're coming in there and he's liable to rearrange your molars.
You have to know when he's changing speeds.
Boy, oh boy, you better know. In the air, foul, Carter.
I tell you, his coach must be just jumping up and down because not a very good attempt. It was an easy play. Everybody could have made that play. Ojeda, Hernandez, Carter, Bat Boy.
You know what's interesting, and it's one of those amazing angles in this series. Roger Clemens, coach at San Antonio Junior College, is a former New York Met by the name of Wayne Graham. He was one of 78 third basemen used by the Mets. He played, I think, about 64. He played in 20 games. So there's so many threads involving these two teams. Here's Boggs, singled off Knight's glove and single to right. Fouled off. That was a big play in the second inning. The hit and run single with 2 out. Backman broke the cover and Boggs drilled it right at the second base hole. Oh and 1. High bouncer over the mound, but Santana says he has it, and he goes to first for the out. No runs, 1 hit, the first ground ball for Ojeda. At the end of 3.5, 2-0 Boston.
Here's a game within the game. Dykstra is the batter, and he gets him with the fastball. Watch him tail it away. Catch that outside corner. There it is. It's not the high rider. Now Backman, it's a curveball strike. Mookie Wilson tails it away. He's made 61 pitches, Vin, 42 strikes, 19 balls, 5 of the 10 first pitches have been for strikes.
Well, the Mets crowd exhorting Backman, Hernandez, and Carter to try and break the magic spell of Roger Clemens. No hits in 3 innings.
He's got to try to bunt to get something started. They got to get this Met ball club. He's got to kick started somehow, some way, because with 3 innings, 6 strikeouts, he has really been in control.
Backman struck out in the 1st inning. Strike. You know, Roger Clemens only lost once on the road this year. That was he's ejected by umpire Greg Kosk in Chicago for a call at first base in the 5th inning. What a record. The only time you lose, you get kicked out of the game. Fly ball slicing to left, but Rice has room.
You know, it's easy to look at a Roger Clemens and say, well, he must have had that kind of stuff all along. But the scout who signed him, and I was talking to Eddie Casco about it, was Danny Doyle, an old catcher. I played against Danny. And he said, Casco was telling me, he called him up and he said, we got to sign Clemens. Casco said, how much? And the scout said, I don't care. Sign him. I'll put my job on the line.
And as you tell that story, there's a scout in Michigan named Jim Terrell who scouts for the Mets, who must shake his head and think about the big one that got away. Over $5,000. 4-1. Joe McElwain finally went down to look at Clemens on 2 different weekends to decide whether to pay him the $25,000, and the games were rained out each time. And Joe came back and said, well, I guess some things are not meant to be. Hernandez flied to center in the 1st inning. He would not go after that pitch out. Ball 2.
That's the one they have to lay off.
On deck, Gary Carter. 2-0 Boston, bottom of the 4th. Popped in the air, off third. Boggs coming over as the ball slices away. He can't get it. The first thing Hernandez did, he had a very brief chat with the plate umpire Dale Ford, and you could bet the house he said to Ford, did I swing at a strike? And Ford nodded yes. And the count 2-1. And another fisted foul. Boggs might have a play. Leans in. Help him out of there, Harry. He got it. Harry Wendelstedt had to lift him out of the crowd.
And that fastball was just a little bit higher as we look at Boggs. Now he finds the stands. He looks again. He finds it and reaches over and watch Wendelstedt. He's staying right with him. He wants to see if that ball's there. Now a fan can knock it out of his hands because he's reached into the stands. That would be okay. No interference. But he shows him the ball.
They got the right umpire to do the job of lifting him out.
Well, he could lift 2 or 3 of those photographers.
Gary Carter, ball 1.
In that sequence on Hernandez, you could see him climb the ladder.
2 out, 4th inning, 2-0 Red Sox. Breaking ball missed, 2-0. On deck, Darryl Strawberry. Now Hernandez swung 2-0 and fouled it off. That was the pitch he questioned Ford as to whether he swung at a strike or not. Let's see about Carter. Out in front, fouled it off to the right out of play. He knew he could hit. He was guessing fastball and he couldn't wait.
You're always hitting when you walk in the batter's box. I mean, there's no signal from the coach. 2 balls and no strikes, 3-1. You look at the coach, 3-0-2 for that matter, and the coach will give you hit or take. A guy like Carter, I doubt if since the playground days did he ever get a take sign 2-0. So you guess for a pitch. He guessed. He still couldn't do anything with it.
2-1. Two and 2. Two runs, 6 hits for Boston. No runs, no hits for the Mets. 2 out. Just missed with the fastball. Well, he goes all the way. The Mets have had 1 base runner. That was Strawberry, who walked in the 2nd inning. Carter's trying to get on and make Strawberry the tying run. Hit a breaking ball off the end of the bat, and Clemens takes care of him. The Carter, badly fooled, hits back to the box, and the Mets are gone again. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. Tonight's game is brought to you by McDonald's. It's a good time for the great taste. And by the 1987 German-engineered Volkswagens and your Volkswagen dealers. Roger Clemens is the star of the night up to here. He is not allowed a hit. He has walked 1, struck out 6, and retired 8 in a row. The only Mets base runner, Strawberry, who walked and stole second base. It's Marty Barrett, Bill Buckner, and Jim Rice in the 5th inning. Strike. Barrett lined out to center in the 1st inning and then singled to left in the 2nd. He has hit in all 6 but has not scored a run. There's another base hit for Barrett and he's 2 for 3. 7 hits against Bobby Ojeda. Ojeda is due to bat 5th when the Mets come up in the 5th inning.
Knight in a couple steps, protected against a possible bunt by him, and once again Barrett is on, and Buckner taking a lot of time getting in there, giving third base coach Rene Lachemann a chance to put on a sign, because they certainly have a combination where they can try things.
Buckner flied to center and then drilled one in the 2nd inning. Strawberry, after turning the wrong way, then turned the other way and made a fine catch. And he's going to have to make another. That ball is hit to deep right. And Darrell is there. Good play. And Marty Barrett back to first. So Buck is 0 for 3, but he has taken Ojeda deep twice.
The next batter, left fielder, Jim Rice.
1 out, and Jim Rice coming up. Rice has walked and struck out. 0 for 1. The only ground ball off the Red Sox bat, hit by Boggs in the 4th inning when he rolled it to Santana up the middle. Change, ball 1.
It was that big slow curveball that got Rice last time on a called 3rd strike.
Fastball, that's hit to right, but Strawberry has it all the way. 2 down.
And stepping up, right fielder, Dwight Evans.
Here's Dwight Evans. If you remember when Bobby Ojeda pitched in the playoff game against Houston in Game 6, he gave up 3 runs and was behind to the Astros and Bob Nepper 3-0. And then the Mets magic as they fought back with Dykstra's pinch hit triple, a 16-inning game, and the Mets wind up in the World Series because of it. Well, Ojeda is down 2-0. We're in the 5th. Dwight Evans doubled in a run and flied to right. Two 2-0. Standing at first, Marty Barrett. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Check swing foul off to the right, out of play, and the count 2-1 to Evans. Sox with a run in the 1st inning. Evans doubled it in, and another in the 2nd on 3 singles. Barrett single, picking up Spike Owen. Ball 3. Barrett looking across at Lachemann to see if they're going to play run and hit with Evans. 3 balls and 1 strike. Barrett's not going. On ball 4. So Ojeda walks his second man. 2 on, 2 out, and Rich Gedman coming up. He's flied to right, and you remember struck out on 3 big curveballs in the 3rd inning.
Now Gedman has to be looking for that curveball, but Ojeda's got to say, well, until he hits it, I'm going to keep throwing it to him.
I would think so. Santana and Backman have a very quick meeting.
Sign switching.
Barrett at second, Evans at first, 2 out in the 5th. 2-0 Red Sox. See if he starts some curveball. Yep. That's 4 in a row to Gedman. 0-1 to count.
There's 2 schools of thought. Some say, well, the hitter's looking for it. I always felt, hey, until he hits it, keep throwing it.
And another one that's looped to left. Mookie is there. So the Red Sox, as they've done throughout the series, lead 2 more. They've left 7, and it's still 2-0. In the bottom of the 5th inning, the Mets will have Darryl Strawberry, Ray Knight, followed by Mookie Wilson.
Clemens in 4 innings has made 73 pitches, 49 strikes, 24 balls, 6 of the 13 first pitches strikes.
And he is not allowed to hit. He's had 1 base runner. That's when he walked Strawberry in the 2nd inning. Ball 1. Change, and it's hit in the air and slicing foul away from Jim Rice and back into the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sox a run in the 1st, a run in the 2nd, and that's it. Bottom of the 5th. The totals tell the story. Clemens has retired 8 in a row. Last man to get on was Strawberry, the only man to get on. Now that was a classic example, as you see Santana and Carter studying. Strawberry laid off that fastball and sailed up and out of the strike zone. 2-1. And another one. Those are the same pitches that Ray Knight chased when he struck out.
It's the easiest pitch in the world to see, and that's why you chase it, but it's the most difficult to hit.
So Knight trying to go to school on Strawberry. 3-1 to count. Ball 4. Strawberry stole second in the 2nd inning, and while Buckner had him busily engaged, he might have missed a sign. That's why he's looking over there. Buckner is the town visitor. He went over and talked to Bill Robinson, and I think he had misdirected Strawberry's attention. And Darryl finally had to really appeal to Harrelson to repeat the sign.
You would think that Knight would just be taken to see what happens here after that base on balls.
Knight struck out in the 2nd inning. 2-0 Sox. Bottom of the 5th. Mets trying to come back. Fouled away. Knight and Strawberry again taking a long look at Harrelson. Foul, slicing down the right field line and out of play. So now Knight in the hole, 0-2. On deck, Mookie Wilson.
try to work on him. You thought maybe he'd go for that high fastball that Knight chased the last time, but he just went right in the strike zone with him.
In the 5th inning, we're a couple of hitters away from Bobby Ojida's spot. Roger McDowell begins to loosen up in the Mets bullpen. 0-2. Breaking ball. 1-2 the count to Ray. There's McDowell. It's a little early to see Roger, but then again, it's getting so very, very late. And Davey and Mel Stottlemyre know it. 1-2. Strawberry goes. Fastball in the dirt. Gedman's throw. He's in there. The ball is going to wind up in Spike Owens' glove, and I thought maybe the shortstop might try the hidden ball trick. What? Now Owen has it, but Strawberry evidently was aware of it. It'll go right out of Barrett's glove, and now he sees him pick it up. To number 22, Ray Knight. Hit up the middle, base hit. Here comes Strawberry, and he will score. The Mets get their first run. Red Sox 2, Mets 1, nobody out. The tying run at first, and the batter Mookie Wilson, and this crowd going wild.
It was a curveball that Ray Knight hit. He really stayed with it. Looking bunt.
Santana on deck. Two bad hacks and the count 0-2. Those fastballs have just thoroughly fooled him. They're way up and out of the strike zone. But of course, that's part of the mastery of Roger Clemens. Mookie struck out in the 2nd inning. 0-1. One and two. Ball 2. He certainly doesn't want to go 3-2 with Knight at first. Fouled away. The Mets with a run on a walk, stolen base, and a single by Ray Knight. The Sox leading 2-1. They're only in the 5th inning. Fouled away again. Boy, I tell you, he's throwing a lot of pitches. As big and as strong as he is, that's a lot.
He's not wild. They're just fouling off so many pitches, but it'll take its toll.
Breaking ball hit into right field. Knight to second base will hold, and when Evans bobbles, he goes to third. Dwight Evans, who committed only 5 errors all year and only 2 since the middle of July, has allowed the tying run to get 90 feet away with nobody out, and Danny Heap will come up to bat for Rafael Santana. John McNamara on his way out to the mound.
The curveball is the pitch that is hurting in this inning. His fastball had been fouling off. He threw a curveball tonight. He got to base it up the middle. Mookie was behind on his fastball. He threw the curveball. He singled into right field. So it's a case now of McNamara trying to settle his young pitcher down. Nobody out. First and third.
Strawberry walked and stole second. Knight got the first hit for the Mets to break the no-hitter as he singled up the middle to score Strawberry. Wilson hit a breaking ball for a single to right, and Knight takes third on the error. Here's the pitch to Mookie. Breaking ball, and he stayed right on it. So Danny Heap will come up to bat for Santana with the tying run 90 feet away and nobody out.
And Heap is a good fastball hitter.
A lot of beatings. Barrett goes over to talk to Buckner, and now Marty goes back to his depth. 2-1 Red Sox, and the Mets try to catch him here in the 5th inning. High fastball, ball 1. Mookie at first, Knight at third. Sammy Stewart begins to throw in the shadows of the Red Sox bullpen. A fake and another fake. Naturally, the crowd hollers balk, like night follows day. He was well off the rubber. Ball 2, high fastball.
Now it's strength against strength.
Wilson at first, Knight at third, nobody out. Clemens in trouble, 2 balls and no strikes to Danny Heap. Check swing, foul. The crowd was chanting Roger, trying to return the Darrell up at Fenway Park. Ground ball hard to Barrett. They go to second for 1, to first, double play. However, Knight scores to tie it up. So the error by Dwight Evans has given the Mets the run. Otherwise, Knight would be now at third. Dwight, as we said, had committed only 2 errors since July. And the batter, Bob Ojeda, who has found himself even 2-2. Ojeda struck out in the 3rd inning. We saw McDowell throwing back of him. It's a little early to see Roger, and now that they have caught the Sox, they have the luxury of staying with Ojeda.
And no one on base.
0-2.
You have to believe, again, without the air, and if Knight would be on now, you might see a pinch hitter, but with no one on, Ojeda gets a chance to bat.
To look ahead for the Sox, Henderson, Owen, and Clemens due up in the 6th inning. 0-1. It is the first catch-up game we've had. The Sox led 2-0, and for the first time, a team has caught a leader. Ground ball to Marty Barrett. And that's it. But the Mets get 2, and they are alive and well. And the crowd is on its feet at Shea at the end of 5. A 2-2 tie. Here's a key play in that 5th inning involving Dwight Evans.
He's got his glove down, and it just seems to take almost like a little bit of a bad hop, but he's watching that runner all the way, which may be a factor. I'll tell you, it was just a funny way for him to feel that ball.
And it allowed Knight to get to 2nd, eventually to 3rd, where he scored on the double play to tie it up. How would you like to be Kevin Elster? He is 22 years old. He was drafted by the Mets 2 years ago. Came up from Jackson AA, and he's the shortstop in a must-win game in the World Series. And here is Dave Henderson. Henderson flied to left, flied to center, 0 for 2. Strike. Change is in there. Strike 2. Like a soap bubble. He got that thing up there.
Oh, it just floated up there.
And another change hit up the middle, and here's Elster. The 22-year-old gets him. So Kevin gets his feet wet. He was a Texas League All-Star team member this year.
And that's the best thing that can happen to the youngsters, have the first one hit to him where he really has to roam a little bit to his left. He turns it into an easy play, but I tell you, before it's hit to you, I tell you, as a catcher, you hope in a tough spot you get a foul tip. One that'll just nick you, not hurt you, to kind of wake you up, and that's what he's hoping, the ball's hit to him to get his feet wet, as you put it.
Oh, to be 22 and playing in the World Series, and you're only a pro for 2 years.
You could have stopped after 22.
Wow. Strawberry had left his position. That's why Ojeda waited for a moment. There was a door open in the bullpen, but we're ready. Spike Owen. Single to center, single to left. He's 2 for 2. So is Barrett, so is Boggs. Right. Roger Clemens, in case you're wondering, is out on deck.
That's the pitch that Owen has been able to hit for the base hit. Curveball, he hits down on as we look at Clemens.
0-1. 1-1. Sox scored in the 1st, and in the 2nd. The Mets rallied for 2 in the 5th, and we're even top of the 6th. Fastball. He was late. Ground ball fielded by Hernandez, who flips it behind the pitcher covering.
Looked like Keith was a bit undecided as to how he was going to give it to Ojeda, and he'll talk to him about it. He was just kind of no man's land. Once he gets it, he kind of hesitates here. He doesn't really know what to do with it. Almost a basketball flip. And Owen is on.
And it's going to go as a base hit. The old story, it'll look like a line drive in the box score. He's 3 for 3.
He was actually moving towards third base and really couldn't get anything on that flip. And here's Clemens with another chance to bump that ball.
And remember, Wade Boggs on deck is 2 for 3. So they're looking bunt. Knight well in. Roger has struck out and fouled out. So Spike Owen 3 for 3. The Sox with 8 hits. The best pitch to bunt, of course, is a nice slow curve. So Clemens figures not to get that pitch. And the Mets are worrying about, I think, a bunt and run play maybe.
Well, there's a lot of times when you're really sure of it, you just almost say to your pitcher, just lay that ball in, or even a mediocre fastball, to make sure he bunts that ball. Now, he's doing a good thing by looking at Latchman, at least putting a thought in the minds of the Mets that they might be switching off. I would tend to doubt it.
0-1.
He's going to have a tough time moving Owen over to second base. Hernandez once again wants to talk to Ojeda, and what he does, as always, is set up his defense, whether he's going to break in on the first move or whether he's going to take 2 steps and go back on the pitch, the next pitch, or whatever. He's 2-3 pitches ahead.
And the bunt is to Hernandez. He's going to go to second just in time.
And that was a good bunt by Clemens, but Hernandez's daring is what made that play. And the difference in this play and the other one is you watch him get the ball and set himself. Now he breaks in immediately. A good bunt. Now watch him set himself now. There he does, and he gets something on the throw and gets his man.
That's the joy of a left-handed first baseman, because you don't have to turn that upper torso. You can just gun it. And when he gets his man, everybody in the ballpark knows it. Now you have Roger Clemens in the strange role of a base runner. It had been strange enough to be a batter. And Hernandez probably kidding him about it as Wade Boggs gets in. 2 for 3. Strike. Boggs singled off Knight's glove, singled to right on a hit and run play, and grounded to short, a chopper up the middle in the 4th inning. 0-1. And another breaking ball strike. 0-2.
Oh, he is like a dart thrower. He just picks his spots, lays it here, lays it there, puts a little on, takes a little off. He's all around that plate.
Big breaking ball. 1-2. When the Mets bat in the bottom of the 6th inning, they'll have Len Dykstra, Wally Backman, and Keith Hernandez, and Roger McDowell is up again in the Mets bullpen. McDowell has already appeared in games 1, 3, and 4. Breaking ball just missed the outside corner.
Boy, he wanted that one. You could see him shake his head. That was the pitch he wanted right there.
2-2.
It's a curveball. You see that twist. Watch his reaction. A groan.
And another one, and it's hit to second, and there's the feed to Elster. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. And Shea Stadium is rocking to its foundation. We go to the bottom of the 6th in a 2-2 tie. What's that expression about 1 brick shy of a load? Clemens 1 pitch shy of averaging 20 pitches an inning, which of course would be quite a load to carry in the 9th inning.
That it would be. And if you're a fan of the radar gun, 27 pitches that Roger Clemens has made so far have been 95 miles per hour or above, but in the last 2 innings he's only thrown 2 pitches in that range.
Remember, we told you Sammy Stewart was throwing back of him in the 5th inning. No one moving now in the Sox bullpen. However, Roger McDowell continues to throw in the Mets bullpen. For New York, Lenny Dykstra, Wally Backman, and Keith Hernandez. Bottom of the 6th in a 2-2 tie. Dykstra struck out and grounded to short. 0 for 2. Out away. Another thing, as far as the Sox are concerned, they have not made it easy for Clemens. They have left 8 men in 6 innings. Looked like Dykstra was trying to hit that low fastball to left field. 0-2. Check swing foul. Still 0-2. Two runs, 8 hits for the Sox. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Mets. Got him off speed with a little break at the tail, and Dykstra frozen at the plate. So that's the second time he strikes out, and strikeout number 7 for Roger Clemens.
You almost think that he thought it was going to be the fastball, because the high fastball he wants to lay off, and it just seemed to break over the plate.
Backman struck out and flied to left, and again Boggs looks bunt. Ball 1. Keith Hernandez on deck. The Mets in the 5th inning had Strawberry walk and steal second. Knight singled him home. Wilson singled. Evans Era sent Knight to third, and he scored as Heap hit into a double play. Fouled away.
See Backman talking to himself as he backs off. He tries to send that ball back up the middle. That's his target. And he can drag the ball as far as he's bunting or drop it down the third base line. He can do a lot of things in that batter's box.
1 ball, 1 strike. He was going to drag, and the pitch is low. Ball 2. 2-1.
It's been a good pitch to drag if it had been in the strike zone, because it was a off-speed curveball.
And it's hit to the hole. Smothered. A great stop by Spike Owen. Too late.
It was only Backman's hustle that made that play. Owen makes a tremendous play. Not only does he come up with the backhand from his knees and throws a strike and had pretty good stuff on it, and Backman just does beat it. He hustled all the way. It looked like a base hit from the minute he hit it, and had he stopped to watch it the split second or so, he would have been out.
So Backman singles to the hole, and that will bring up Keith Hernandez. Hernandez has flied to center and fouled out. 0 for 2.
Backman's another one of those runners, has the green light, and Davy Johnson will just let him go at any time. It doesn't necessarily demean there's a play on. He's got a green light to run whenever he thinks he can make it.
Backman stole 13 out of 20 during the regular year. 0-1. No one throwing in the Sox bullpen. Stewart was up last inning.
Look at that Buckner trying to just talk to him, break his concentration.
1 ball and no strikes. Look at Buck faking that the ball had gotten away, and Backman wouldn't go for it.
Pretty bad piece of acting. But he tried.
Yep.
Look at Backman. Backman's a bad movie, Buck.
No Oscar. 1 ball and no strikes.
He saw Backman dig in, much like Strawberry did the other time. When he dug in, it took off. What do you think?
1-0 the count to Keith Hernandez. Backman a short lead, and now right on the bag. Right. 1-1.